Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You listen to episode 137 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of The Division. And shit has hit the fan this week, and boy, do we have some news for you. But first, my name is Mike, and joining me, as always, is my other co-host, Luke.
Yeah, not so much as always anymore, is it? Hi, everybody. I'm back, but this week we're missing Mr. Hemsley himself.
Yeah, I feel like we're just rotating hosts at the minute.
The ever-present is you, and me and Rob are just taking weeks off. I mean, it's great. I've had quite a nice rest, but...
I was going to say, when am I going to get my holiday?
Never.
Damn it. Obviously, hope you guys have had an awesome week, as well as our listeners, and welcome to any new listeners of the show. I want to start the show today singing? No, I'm not going to sing, but I am going to wish Luke a very happy birthday for the 14th of December, tomorrow or today, depending when you're listening to this show, or in the future. I don't know.
It will be my birthday by the time anybody hears this, won't it? So I am officially 34 years old, as of anybody listening to my voice right now.
Jesus Christ.
All right, mate. Not that old, fucking hell.
All right, Grandpa.
Mate, I will fucking get in my car right now. Come and find your ass.
No, I'm messing. Obviously, huge happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
May you have many beers.
Many beers will be consumed. Yes, that is a promise. Well,
let's hope you're not too drunk that other things can't happen this weekend. That sounds really dodgy. I'm not going to say it like that, but let's move on. Very quickly, before we do move into news this week, I just want to say a huge shout out to Born Diesel. He's got new Words with Born out this week, and it features no other than community member Chuck Cunningham from our Division community, and it really honestly is a heartfelt Q&A. You should all take the time to head over there and read it. Him and his family have had a rough few months, year, perhaps longer, and because of the community, it's really helped him through it. And he supports pretty much everybody in the Division community. He's there on streams. He's there in everyone's DMs and Discords and everything. Hitting up, making sure everyone's okay, having awesome conversations with the people, and he shows a lot of support. So, reading this back and the support he gave to us and other members of the community was really endearing. So, thank you very much, dude.
Yeah, it was. Like you said, very heartfelt, wasn't it? Quite insightful as well. Like he shared a bit of his own family life, shared a bit as to why he supports as many community members as he can do. So I really enjoyed reading this one. I've read all the Words with Born. This is probably my favourite, to be honest with you. I don't know, people are going to think, oh, that's because SITREP got a shout out in it, but it's not. It's because Chuck's a fucking awesome human being. So
yeah, well, it's like, I'll be honest, I put out there, like, he supports so many people in our community that he, for me personally, is our community's star player. I don't care what
100%
other people award that to, or who they award it to, but he is this community star player because he supports everybody in this community, no matter who they are. So thank you very much, Chuck, and congrats to Born Diesel. Anyway, let's get down to some news.
State of the game.
Okay, Luke.
Mike.
Unfortunately, you weren't able to make the awesome episode with Bicycle of Death.
I wasn't, no, and I'm a bit pissed about that, to be honest with you. I had quite a few questions lined up for Bike. I've listened to half of the recording that you did with him so far. I'm really, really enjoying what I've heard so far. And I know some of the feedback from the community has been really, really positive. So it was obviously a good episode. So GG to you and Rob on that one. And Bike, obviously.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bike for joining us on that episode. It was fucking awesome. Obviously, Luke, you've already started going back and listening to it. But if you want to go back and listen to it, it is episode 136. Anyway, since then, oh my God, have we had some news. Okay, so straight after that was released, or recorded, should I say, because that was pre-recorded. We basically have this month's planned events for December leading up to Christmas. So, first up is the Prime Shield that got released on the 6th of December, which all you need to do is have 3 full classified sets, and that is retroactive. It's unlocked. Make sure you log in, and it's pretty much done. If not, I'm sure it's not difficult to chase that over the next couple of months. Next, if you log in between the 6th of December, which is already gone, and January the 10th, which I'm sure you will still have time, you will have the ability to get an exclusive mask, which seems to link to Washington, D.C. Just saying. It's out there on the Twitters. Next up, there is a holiday cache, which is yours for collection if you log in between December the 6th and January 10th. Obviously, it's the 13th today, so you got a little bit of time left. And finally, the last global event for December, as far as we know, is going to be running between today and December 20th, and that is global event Blackout.
Yeah, so with global event Blackout, there's the 3 face masks that were originally available. So you've got the panda mask, you've got the flaming mask, and you've got it's got like the skeleton jaws on the bottom of it. It's a pretty cool mask. And the 4 classified sets that are available for the duration of Blackout are Deadeye, Strikers, TAC, and D3. Blackout, if you don't remember, is the global modifier where shooting and or running builds your charge meter. The more charge, the more damage you inflict on your enemies.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going to go get the panda mask. I want it on PC. I mean, I know we've got less than 100 days to go to the Division 2, but I still kind of want a couple of the masks left in this game.
I logged in at some point last week and played some skirmish with Boris, friend of the show, and Tinks from Bombshell Jackets. So I've got my Prime Shield done. So I'm done with all the shields up to and including the fresh one. And I've got my sweet little inverted Washington, D.C. mask. That thing does look cool when you wear it, by the way. It is a very, very nice mask, that one. I like that.
I will say I've been back playing Division this week. I'm done with Red Dead Redemption. It is gone. Can you tell all the listeners where it's gone? Have you put it away in the cupboard to play another day, or? It's gone to the lovely home of CEX, and now I swapped it basically for Diablo. So I'm sure Ramp and C for Bombshell Jackets will be pretty chuffed that I've gone that route. Diablo 3 on Switch, right? Yes. Right. So you can play Diablo 3 with Rem whilst you're both having a shit. Yes. I'm going to have to line that up with him and speak to him about it. But dude loves Diablo, so line up your poo schedules and play Diablo. You know Rampancy's going to be down for that. Is he going to be mad at me because I keep calling it Diablo and not Diablo? Is he going to hunt me down and kill me? Potentially. If Rob was here, he would potentially murder you too, because he loves to, correct you on that. I think he loves to correct me on it because I've said it before in the past, but it's fine. How are you enjoying Diablo then? Diablo's great. I'm not going to go into it because we've got other stuff to talk about today. I know you're trying to wind me up, so fuck you. I'm going to let you off. It's your birthday tomorrow. Yay. Today, whenever you listen to this. And surprise, 2016's Christmas beanies are returning to the Division. If you log into the Division before January 10th, Luke. I got them the first time round. Well, did you get them on PC though? Ooh. Now there's a question. I don't know the answer to that. Probably not. Our survey says. Yeah. Anyway, if you log in before January 10th, you will be able to redeem the Knoll and Yuletide holiday hats. Kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted the weapon skins to go with them as well. I love the gingerbread weapon skins on an LMG. Awesome. Oh my god. What? What's wrong with that? How is that any worse than a panda mask, dude? I love the panda mask. I didn't want the panda mask. It was you that wanted the panda mask. So you're going to be running around with the Yuletide hat on, a panda mask, and a fucking gingerbread weapon skin. This Santa's going to be running around in a minute. There are Santas already running around in skirmish. Exactly. I killed a lot of Santas this week. I'm going to be honest, it's Christmas full time in the Division. There should be Santas running around in the Division. Good shout, every day. Good fucking every shout. Day. Anyway, we've got some big news this week. Technical Alpha. The Technical Alpha for the Division 2 finally has gone live, or technical test, whatever you would like to call it today, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to correct you right there. It's not gone live yet. It goes live on Saturday.
When this podcast is aired, which will probably be Saturday. What I meant was the announcement has gone live, and everybody knows that.
The announcement has gone live. Amper Camper, Anthony, as he likes to be called by his mum, put a post out on the Division Twitter that they are running a very short technical alpha. It's going to be limited invites to PC players only. Sorry, console players. You know, us three were once only console players, so we feel your pain. But I guess build limitations are that you can only have an alpha on PC.
I honestly think it's time to get this up and running versus cost as well. It's going to be a lot easier to put this out on PC versus console. So unfortunately, it does leave console players out of the loop. But we've got, 3 months till the Division 2. There's going to be betas. Everyone will get a chance to play it. If you've either signed up or pre-ordered at some point, you'll be absolutely fine. Okay.
There's going to be millions of players out there that have already played the demo as well, isn't there? Because, they were at every games convention on every corner of the planet this summer. So,
plus, this technical test is literally that. It's testing the game. It's not who's going to jump in and try the game first and figure out the best builds from day one. It's, you're going to be running... Well, I don't know. Luke, what's going on?
Well, the technical alpha, according to the blurb on the websites and the tweets and the NDAs and all that sort of stuff, is that this technical alpha has been designed to run a certain scale and will only host a limited number of players so that the employees back at Ubisoft can gather the feedback and the data that they are specifically aiming for. It's only a small portion of the game and is in no way representative of the final scope and quality of Tom Clancy's The Division 2. They are expecting people to find bugs, major and minor. And as I said, anybody that is invited to take part in this technical alpha will be under a very strict NDA. There's no streaming, there's no screenshots, there's no discussing it anywhere on forums that aren't the official technical alpha forum that you have to obviously get access to once you've signed the NDA. There's no tweeting about it. I think literally the only thing that people can say once they've been put into the technical alpha is that they have been accepted for the technical alpha. I think that's literally about all you can say. Full disclosure, I got my invite this afternoon.
Congrats, man.
Thank you very much. I'm quite excited to play that on Saturday when that goes live to give some feedback. I know there's a couple of other people in the community that have got their invites this afternoon. Their information is out on Twitter if you want to find who those people are. I'm not going to give you their names. But that's it. I mean, obviously, it's online only. There's the Division subreddit have already put out their terms and conditions that they will be monitoring the subreddit very, very closely. Anybody posting anything that comes in breach of the NDA will have their posts removed and probably even their accounts removed. Having read the NDA, it is pretty fucking lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels worth of break this NDA and we're coming for you with all our might. But this is an unreleased product, so they're protecting all their confidential information, aren't they? So I get that.
Nice. Right. So some of the queries, I don't know if we've gone over those properly or not yet. How do you access the alpha?
You have to be invited. It's invite only.
If you can't access the alpha,
you're not getting it.
And you need an online connection.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much standard, but this is an online game. So please make sure that your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet is connected before commencing the game. If you have any technical issues, make sure to contact the private forums or contact customer support. And finally, NDA on the subreddit. Anything that is posted about the Division 2 during this alpha test will be removed. And I'm sure you guys will get a little bit bollocked for it.
Yeah, just a little bit. As I say, there's a forum that's been set up specifically for anybody who's got access to the to this private alpha. So I guess the devs will be keeping an eye on that. They want your feedback posting, so I guess that's the easiest way for them to gather feedback. I have no idea if there's going to be a questionnaire sent out to us after we finish trying it. Not a clue. I guess that would make sense, but you know they're going to be scouring the forums for that sort of information anyway, for any issues that we find, feedback that we want to leave. So
I think that would be a good way of giving feedback, because not everyone will give feedback. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you get sent something for free or you buy something, then you don't always tend to give feedback because you're like, yeah, I'll do it later, and it never gets done. So the chances of you actually getting sent something through to fill out, and we know they've done surveys and things like that before, so it would make a decent constructive feedback.
Yep.
And speaking like a normal human being than raging on the Twitters or whatever social media space you would like to use to rage.
Oh dear.
Is there anything you're actually looking to see or hoping to see and potentially looking forward to test? I'm asking you openly now because obviously it's not gone live yet.
Oh God, I'd not really thought about it, because I once I found out that the technical alpha was in existence yesterday when the tweet went live. Obviously, we didn't know what the scale of the alpha was going to be, whether it was the whole game, whether it was just a slice of the game. We still don't know if PvP is going to be in there. I fully expect not, to be honest.
Yeah,
because we've
I agree with that.
No information on the Dark Zone or PvP yet, so I'll be amazed if that is in the game.
Yeah, chances are they're going to want to keep that under wraps until after the technical alpha.
Completely agree.
And they want to, bring that to the players first.
I'll be absolutely flabbergasted if the raid is anywhere near the alpha, because they've already said the raids aren't going to be in the beta, so why would they be in the alpha? So obviously we can't test those.
Yeah, I really hope the raids, I mean, we've said this before on the podcast, I really hope raids are not going to be tested at all. I just want them put out there. I say not tested, internally QA tested.
I know what you meant, yeah.
Not by the public.
And I agree with you. I think they should be a surprise. You know, brand new content that wasn't anywhere near the first game should be an absolutely great surprise for everybody who logs in on day one, or when the raids are live. Sorry. In terms of testing, I'd love to know all there is to know from the alpha with regards to the gear and how that's all going to synergize. Obviously, I'm going to try as many weapons as I can just to see how they all feel, give feedback on those. But I do want to say that it won't be for me just playing the game. I'm going to test stuff. We did it with the PTSs and stuff that we were part of on console. I've got a notepad with loads of notes and shit in it that I left on the forums when we did those. So I fully expect to do the same again. I know that sounds super nerdy, but to me, this isn't free access to a game that I've already bought. They've asked for some testing, so I'm going to do some testing. I know one guy that we are very good friends with in the community that's going to play at the same time as me, so we'll be testing shit together, I imagine, and bouncing feedback off of each other. So,
no, that's good to hear. And obviously, if the game fails at launch, I will be holding you accountable.
Me and only me, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you're the only person I can rage at.
No pressure then, no?
Anyway, let's get down to a brief discussion. Okay, so just before the technical test alpha got announced, there was a few people announcing to be going off to various Ubisoft studios this week to actually get a chance to play The Division 2. These select members of the community have been invited to basically get an inside look at the game. And unfortunately, it's led to a lot of toxicity in the community this week, which is kind of interesting because, you know, we've had a couple of community episodes and, you know, we have, I think every guest so far has been like, the community's great, you know, we love how everyone interacts, everyone's so nice. And then this week it kind of went south. And I think we're not going to go into like who said what, etc. But I think we're all on the same page with respect to it's pretty stupid. What do you reckon, Luke?
I agree. Pretty stupid, pretty childish. You know, I agree it's toxic, but it smacks a lot more of jealousy rather than just people calling people out because they're not very good players or they've not played it for this many months, blah, blah, blah. Just seems to me that it's a lot of... So the people that got invited are obviously the bigger streamers, the bigger YouTubes, because this is not a test event as far as I'm aware, and as far as the game of people behind the game, have come out to say that this is a PR event. So
yeah, I just step in there. Like, for nobody that knows, this is actually a media event that is going on, as far as you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as of this week. We know a few people are going up tomorrow to like places like Red Storm, massive studios, and I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, it's a media event, and basically, I think the way this was handled was really freaking poor. They allowed community members to basically go, which is absolutely fine, but allowing people to basically say, I'm going to go play the game, then started this whole thing of like, well, that's not fair. Why aren't I invited to go play the game? I'm a content creator too. And then this other person's like, well, I've never heard of you. And it's just kind of this weird box that everyone's in when kind of bashing comments at each other. And I think that side of it was really poor for actually explaining what this was. This is a media event. It's for PR. It's for it's bringing like big streamers, big communities in to sell the game. And like in layman's terms, it's to help sell the game, to prove that they've spent the last 2-3 years working on the game, and what they're saying the game is true to their word, I would assume.
Well, from the information that the people that we know have been invited to this have put out, it seems like it's been planned for quite a while. Obviously, they're going to have to get all these people logistically from lots of different places all over the planet to come and play the game at wherever studios are hosting it. I know Red Storm is one of them. I don't know all of them. It's very close to Christmas, so there's going to be travel disruption involved in all of that. So it's obviously been planned well in advance. So all I would say, like, it's fine. The community members that have been invited, I don't disagree with any of them as far of the ones that I've seen that have come out on Twitter and wherever else that have said, hey, I'm off to Red Storm in a couple of days to go and play Division 2. Awesome. What I think should have happened first is that the game should have put out some sort of announcement that says, okay, so next week we're having a PR event where certain content creators, streamers, YouTubers, call them what you will, have been invited. They've been selected by us to come and play the game, and this is a strictly media PR event. I don't know if they are, but I assume they are going to be playing content that's not been made available previously, i.e. they're not just going to play the demo that we've all played already.
PvP is what you're saying, Luke.
No, well, that's not what I'm saying. They might be playing a completely different mission within the PvE realms of Division 2. They might be playing PvP. If they are, I'm really jealous. Don't mind saying that. Not a problem. So, yeah, I think a statement from the game should have been made first. And then, because all these people have been saying, oh, well, I've got secret things to talk about. I've got secret things I can talk about tomorrow. I've got secret things I could talk about the day after tomorrow. And then that date arrived and they were like, surprise, I'm going to play Division 2 in a couple of days. And it's like, okay, so you were obviously under some sort of NDA that you couldn't say until 10th of December or whatever it was that you're going to this event. So why didn't the game put out something on the day before that NDA that says, okay, warning, there might be some content creators telling you they're coming to play our game tomorrow. It's a PR event. Don't lose your shit.
Yeah, I mean, they don't necessarily need to come out and say, we're doing this, but something would have been better than nothing, if you know what I mean. They could have just said, hey, this weekend we're having a media event and we're inviting people down to come check out the game before launch next year.
Yep.
And kind of, it's basically to build hype. I think the community salt comes from the fact that people didn't know this. People weren't aware of this at the start. And then you have, unfortunately, right, there's a lot of people that are stuck with the Division, which I completely understand. Content creators, YouTubers, stuff like that. And, they're the people now, I would say, that's either stuck through it the whole time or have joined recently and are creating content and keeping the game. And it's, thriving within the community. And they're kind of like, well, that's not fair. Why didn't I get invited? and then turn around and say, well, I've not heard you before. You're not even playing the Division. That doesn't matter, you know. They're actually looking for people with communities that enjoy games and would possibly be interested in playing the Division at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, and I know you've just used that phrase yourself, but at the end of the day, this is a game made by Ubisoft, right? This is a PR event put on by Ubisoft and its associated studios. They can invite whoever the fuck they want to play their game before it comes out. So Johnny Streamer down the way, who gets 20 views on his Twitch channel, and Mr. Big Streamer over the road, who gets 4,000 channel views when he's playing his game. Doesn't matter what fucking game he's playing. If Ubisoft want you to come and play their game, they will ask you. It's their game. It's their choice who plays it. We didn't get invited for that.
No,
don't see us sat here being all jealous about it. I mean, it would have been great to go and play it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I didn't want to go anyway, because that's a fucking blatant lie. But the people, like I said before, the people that have been picked for it are the bigger streamers that played the Division when it was out, and some of them still play it right now. Some of them still put content out right now. Again, I'm not going to name drop because it's, you know, some people have put it out on Twitter that they're going, some people haven't.
Well, so, I think before the whole media side of it was actually a thing, you know, people like Marco and Wids obviously mentioned that they were going. The community obviously rallied behind those guys because, you know, we're in December. Everyone's expecting the December DZ news, even us ourselves, but you can't be held to that just from what something Julian Garrity said at Ubi Day, because things change. We might not hear any Dark Zone news till January. We might not hear anything till February. We might not hear anything till the game's out. They could change the whole thing. And I think that's what people were happy with. I think people were kind of like then kind of changing stuff where they're like, well, you've only got PC players going. Why isn't anyone going from the console community? You know, all the problems that you had before with the game on console, they have got people. I'm pretty sure Nothing But Skills is a console player. As far as I know, he's going out to check the Division out this week. And, you know, they are kind of covering all their bases. But at the end of the day, like Luke said, it's a media event. It kind of feels like it's there to give reassurance to certain community members that play the game, but it's also a PR event. And that is what they're more interested in than anything else. And I completely agree with you, Luke. Like, you would have been invited if they wanted you. You would have been invited.
Well, the brass tacks of it is media event is posh way or less direct way of saying advertising, isn't it? Let's down to the brass tacks of it all. It's advertising. These content creators, as far as I'm aware, are getting flown to wherever for free, going to play the game and get put up in hotels and whatever at Ubisoft's expense to play the game, to then release content whenever the NDA gets lifted for this content that they've been allowed to record and talk about, put this content out, and it's just more advertising. So, you know, you've dropped a couple of names there, Mike. Nothing But Skills, console player, plays a lot of PvE as far as I'm aware. You said Marco and Wids are going PvPers. You know, I can't think of two better people in the community to play PvP before people know about the PvP in this game.
100%.
So I'm absolutely fine with those three going. I know he won't mind us saying on the show because he's been on here as a guest before. Riley or Taylor's going. He's going out to Redstorm to play the game. He's very PvE focused. So you've got two different sides of the game going out to give you... no doubt they're going to give feedback on the game. But it's advertising. They're going to bang out videos and tweets and maybe even record some stuff that they can put out as Twitch videos and whatever else for whenever this NDA is lifted that they've signed, obviously, to go and play the game early.
This is a standard thing, right?
Absolutely.
For all games. This is nothing new. Like, before Destiny comes out, like the next expansion, or what I'm trying to think of any, like Battlefield 5, you know, they'll get people to go visit the studios, or they'll get sent codes so they can play it and they can create videos. That is what it's all for. My only interest in this at the end of the day, and I might be wrong on this, is I don't care personally who's going, as long as at the end of the day, they give an honest opinion and feedback on the game to the community, to all the players. That's all I care about. As long as we get some honest feedback on what the game is really like, and they're not being shielded by corporations, then I'm fine with that.
Even if they are, and I'm not saying they are, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth or anything. Even if these are going to be slightly pampered videos because, Ubisoft have flown us out for free, so we've got to be nice about the game, blah, 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 blah. We've just spent 10 minutes talking about the private alpha, which is offered to PC players, as far as I'm aware, that are all walks of life. So you've got a content creator like me, you've got
Filthy Joe down the road.
Filthy Joe down the road, who's not a streamer, not a content creator. He's got access to the alpha because he signed up for the beta, and he was, RNG picked him basically for that. You got
the guy next door, living next to the bin at Waitrose.
Where does he plug his PC in if he lives in the bin?
They got outdoor sockets, mate, for the Christmas trees.
Nice. What I'm trying to say is you'll get honest feedback from them, regardless of what these content creators provide. And, the content creators that have been invited, I don't expect will give you an awful lot of bullshit. I've watched a lot of their content. I've watched a lot of their streams, seen a lot of their videos. Anything they've said would have got found out as bullshit a long, long time ago.
No, I agree. But that, at the end of the day, I would expect that not just with the Division. I would expect that with any game.
Oh, yeah,
if I wanted to go play Battlefield 5, I would want Jack Frags to give an honest opinion on the review or on the lead up to how he feels about the game. And he did. He might, and to be honest, he didn't sound that enthusiastic in his review. And he's one of the biggest supporters for Battlefield. So as long as people come back and give honest feedback, I honest to God don't think it matters who goes to the media PR event.
Well, just to give this podcast its weekly dose of Destiny content, I think all the streamers left Destiny 2 when that first came out for it being an absolute pile of shit of a game, didn't they? So they weren't, obviously, whatever ties they've got to Bungie and whoever else is involved in making Destiny 2, they weren't concerned about burning those bridges when they said, fuck this game, I'm not streaming this again till it gets any better.
Yeah, Forsaken comes out and they all get invited to a summit to go check the game out,
exactly.
Give feedback and stuff like that. No different. So calm down.
Yeah, can we just have a bit of perspective and a whole dose less of entitlement around the community, please? Because it's getting annoying.
And salt, please.
Yeah.
Less salt.
Less salt. I mean, it's good for you to have less salt in your diet. So
more pepper, please. Give me the pepper, boy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You happy with that?
I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I think we've put the worlds to right between us, haven't we?
I kind of wish Rob was here. I honest to God wish Rob was here because I just wanted to rage. I think it'd be quite funny. I think he'd rage and he'd just be like, or he would just be like, I don't care. One or the other.
I would go with he'd be drunk and asleep by now. I'll point it out there.
40 minutes time he would be. Anyway, enough about the time. We have a couple of questions. Actually, no, we have one question because that's all we've got time for this week. Stonemills G sent a question last week. Apologies. We pre-recorded last week's show, so we are catching up with questions this week. We'll answer the rest of them next week, as far as I know. It is expected for PlayStation to announce the PS5 next year for 2020, with Xbox to follow as well. What will the impact be on a game like The Division that aims to have a live service over 3 years or more? What impact will it have on their business model, seeing as they might lose half of their console player base in 1 year? Or does it not factor in at all?
I don't know is my initial answer, because first of all, I don't know where you're getting your information from that it's expected that PlayStation will announce PlayStation 5 for 2020.
Right, okay. I'll stop you there because PlayStation, I can't remember if it's next year. They've basically pulled out of E3 with a potential big showing at 2020. That's the rumor that's going around. plus like the life cycle of the console and things like that.
Right. You've just used the word rumor there straight away.
Yes.
Second of all, didn't they not completely pull out of E3 this year, but they made all their exclusives available to their own PlayStation version of E3? So their own PlayStation Sony conference, if you like.
PSX,
yeah.
maybe.
I think, does Sony just not now think that they're too big for E3, so they're just going to make their own convention? They're just like, well, fuck E3, we're just going to give you all the news at our own convention.
No, I can't see that happening because like they keep showing the same games for like the last 2 years. How many more Death Stranding trailers are we going to get? Just give us the game when it's ready. Do you know what I mean? They keep showing like certain games over and over again, and like we've obviously got the slim version of the PS4 out. We are getting towards the end of the life cycle of the PS5. I understand from that side it is going to get to it's at the end of its life cycle. So getting back on track, what impact will this have on a game like The Division that aims for a live service over 3 years? That really depends on backwards compatibility, which another rumor, but it was also a rumor for PS4, it's meant to be backwards compatible. And it's more likely to be so because of the technology inside the PS4 this time around compared to the PS3.
Did you play Destiny 1 on PS3 or PS4?
PS4.
Because that was a PS3 release, wasn't it?
No, it's a PS4.
You sure it wasn't available on PlayStation 3?
No, I'm pretty sure. Because it was supposed to launch with the PlayStation 4, but ended up launching like 8 months later.
Okay. Might be remembering wrong then. It seems to have been out forever. That was all. Backwards compatibility is obviously the big one. I'd be amazed if the new generation of consoles aren't backwards compatible just for the amount of games that are now available on consoles.
I think it also depends. I mean, obviously you just had the Xbox One X come out. That's got like a patch for 4K support. And chances are the PlayStation 5 will probably have something similar to back it up. If it's backwards compatible. Or they'll do what GTA did and they'll re-release the game on future console. To be honest, I can't really imagine it having much of an impact on their business model due to the player base. There's still players playing Destiny 1 now, which like there's still people going back and playing that. And I know that's on the same console, but I mean, it often takes people a while to transfer from one console to the other. It only tends to be like the real hardcore players that will move across straight away. Yeah, a lot of people will wait till there's more exclusives like I know people that still went out the past couple of months and were buying God of War and Spider-Man. I'm like, how do you not have a PlayStation 4 yet? Not in like a nasty way, but it's they're still playing their PlayStation 3. That sounds insane. So that will probably be
takes a while for the developers to catch up as well, doesn't it? I suppose because if the technology is not readily available for their game to be played on, take Division 2 for example. They're not going to be designing Division 2 to work on a PlayStation 5 that won't be out for a year and a half, 2 years.
Also, I don't think Sony's that stupid this time around. And like Xbox is to follow as well. I don't think like every Xbox has been backwards compatible, but they build it around a PC. Like consoles we have today are more like PCs than we've ever got before. So like to the point that they're on about streaming games in the future, which is something you can already do. And I just can't see PlayStation Sony stepping away from how far they've removed themselves from like the PS3, which was like this stupid idea where it was like the powerful device ever, but nobody could harness the proper power behind it. And it was like only with the PS4 they were like, actually we can make a console that is for everyone and all publishers and developers that actually makes sense. So going back to what you said about the fact that the game is made on PC, it's a lot easier to take a PC build and port it across to a potentially new platform. I say a lot easier. I know it's not like pressing that sweet Division button that we all know exists, but the chances are it will either be supported via backwards compatibility, or there'll be an update or something that you allow players to play it in the future.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so they might factor it in a little bit. I don't think it's going to factor in an awful lot in terms of the design of the game as a whole. You know, they've been, I think it's no secret that they've been designing or started designing Division 2 literally the day after Division 1 came out. So they've been using, 3-year-old technology, and obviously cycling up as technology gets better and better and better. We already know that Division 2 is not going to launch with ray tracing capabilities, which is the brand new NVIDIA graphics cards, isn't it? Or the 2080 series or whatever they are. Where's Rob when we're talking about geeky stuff, dude? We need help.
Well, reading the bit about will they lose half their player base in the first year, I think that also depends down to the performance of the game, because people tend to go for more shiny things. If you have like stupidly high performance for the Division 2 versus the console that you've got already, for example, the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, how much of a difference did that make to the player base? I don't think it really made that much difference to most people. I think it was more people that were either buying a new console or their console was dying on its legs, sort of thing. And like obviously hardcore players that went out and bought the PS4 Pro pretty much straight away. But I would expect for most people, it didn't really matter.
You know the patch that they released for Xbox One S and PS4 Pro from the Division?
Yeah.
That was just basically upscaling, wasn't it? To make it look better than it technically was because you're using a slightly more powerful version of the console.
Yeah, 100%.
That would kind of be the thing they do.
Exactly. That would be what they would do with a future console. But then it goes down to backwards compatibility. I think you would have it on Xbox. I think you'd be absolutely fine on Xbox. But whether PlayStation would do it, that would be down to them.
I agree with you, though. I think they'd have to nowadays because you've got that much. I think the shift has gone from physical copies to digital copies of stuff now, hasn't it? With the PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, whatever that's called. People are downloading games nowadays rather than actually getting a CD, aren't they? So
yeah, that's a lot of games that you would lose by just changing the console.
Yeah, I think they've got to be, haven't they? I would expect a huge shitstorm if PlayStation 5 isn't backwards.
Well, that would be Microsoft having one over on them, because that's something that I saw on Reddit today. Somebody was like, how the fuck is the Division still like £40 on PlayStation? And obviously you've got the season pass as well, which is still almost full price. And then you head over to Xbox, and the Xbox has Microsoft Game Pass has the Division included in the Game Pass. So in like your live service pack for free. And I just don't understand. It would just seem really backwards if they didn't get it? If they didn't have backwards compatibility in it. Because at the end of the day, what is the difference nowadays between an Xbox and PlayStation? What's the selling point? It comes down to one thing. It's your exclusives. Two things. Exclusives and where your friends are.
Well, 3 things then, because I fucking hate Xbox controllers.
Well, it's not a selling point, though, is it?
It is. I wouldn't buy an Xbox purely because of the controllers.
Yeah, but you can get a PlayStation controller to work on an Xbox.
Can you, though?
And they've just updated it to include mouse and keyboard support.
Oh, great. More console players using mouse and keyboard. That'll go down well.
It's fine.
I mean, Stone Mills does bring up an interesting point. I don't think it'll be massively important this time around. Because, the game launches in 2019. If a PlayStation 5 comes out in 2020, it won't be till the latter part of 2020 for all that sweet, sweet Christmas money. So that's a year and a half of the 3 years of the live service of the game done anyway. So, and then Division 3 will come out on PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, when are we going to get the Division 3? Technical test servers out now. I want to hear news on the Division 3.
Yeah, there's going to be a very interesting PR event for Division 3 soon, isn't there?
Yes, that is. There was one thing that we did actually forget to talk about this week, which was I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It was the new Division book.
Oh, yes. That's now available for pre-order, isn't it?
Yes. I can't remember what the name was off the top of my head. It was Dawn.
I'll find it. It's the follow-up to the New York Collapse book, isn't it, by Alex Irvine?
Yep.
Which, if you haven't read it, you need to read it because it's a great book and it delves into a lot of the lore and the story behind the first game. And the book for the second game, I can't find it. No,
it's Broken Dawn.
There you go. Well done.
Very quickly, the description is: months after the outbreak of a devastating global pandemic that started in New York City on Black Friday, traces of rebirth are spreading across the United States. Basically, there's going to be potentially another virus that is going to be released, and April Keller and Agent Diaz have to uncover an imminent threat to the future of the country to preserve civilization's last hope to stop the virus and save itself from final collapse. Yet again, another collapse? I'm down.
Apparently, that is released the day before the game. Now, that's according to Amazon, so don't quote me on that if that changes. But that comes out on the 14th of March. And we all know Division 2 comes out on the 15th of March.
Does it? Pre-orders, 3 days early access, Dark Zone, nobody knows.
Good point.
What the fuck's going on?
Forgot about the 3-day early access bullshit, yeah.
What happens if you get it in the post the week before? Does that mean you get extra early access? How do I buy that?
Nobody's getting games in the post anymore, dude. We've already spoke about this.
I do?
Yeah, but you're playing Division 2 on PC, right?
Shut the fuck up.
So it's going to be in your Uplay client, literally 10 seconds after it turns into the 12th of March. Wow. I'm tired.
Did you really have to count 3 days back?
Yes, I did.
I had to think that. I was like, did you?
Yeah, I did it.
Anyway, they might send me the Uplay code through the mail.
No, they're not.
The mail. Post. I'm not American. Anyway, let's freaking end this shit.
No, stop.
What?
I need to give a bit of a shout out / a bit of a bite back at another podcast.
Really?
Yeah, those cheeky scamps over at Division Central podcast. You know, the lesser important British podcast about the Division? Yeah, I said it. Less important. You heard me. They recorded episode 6 at the start of November. And I'll be honest, I've been behind on my podcast recently. Fight me, bro. So I caught up with Division Central this week. And in episode 6, they asked for questions. My question was, when are you going to start the next inter-podcast speedrun? And 3 of the 4 of them were quite respectful. And Elvin Rush, that cheeky little scamp, decided it'd be a good idea to take the piss out of us, saying that we're lazy and that we should make our own fucking speedrun challenge if we want one.
No. He said specifically we should make our own fucking sandwich. He'd be willing to take a bite, but we should make our own sandwich.
First of all, any motherfucker taking a bite out of my sandwich is going to get the fingers bitten off. Second of all, they're obviously uneducated as to how many times we ran a speedrun contest for the community before they even thought about doing podcasts.
Third of all, I'm pretty sure they challenged us to a speedrun last time, and that's what brought about the question in the first place.
A challenge we undertook and won, by the way. So yeah, first of all, fight me, bro. Second of all, keep your fucking hand off my sandwich. Third of all, get the speedrun going, and we'll beat you again.
Fourth, what's in my sandwich?
The souls of northern podcasters.
I thought you were going to say the salty tears of Division players.
That's the garnish on top.
Oh, tasty. Anyway, Thank you very much to everyone who sent questions in this week, even though there was only one question, but we spent a long time answering it. Apologies. We'll get back to you next week.
It was a very detailed answer. It wasn't. It was all bollocks. Continue, Michael.
Well, Robert's not here, so unfortunately I'm going to have to fuck this bit up again. You can find us over at SITREP Radio on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, as well as our own personal accounts. Please send any feedback or questions for the show over to sitrapradio@gmail.com, or you can find us on the awesome Discord, Beer and Bullets. The link's in the show notes. We want to hear your thoughts on the news topics that we cover. Please be sure to leave a comment and join in any of the discussions in any of those places.
No, because I wasn't here last week when you recorded with Bicycle of Death. Who read my bit?
I think it was me.
Did you do the long thank you at the end?
I think I did, but you'll have to go back and listen to episode 136.
I'm halfway through listening to it. I will give you my feedback next week. Please leave a review of the show using the podcast app of your choice. We really do enjoy reading all your reviews. The feedback is genuinely excellent, and at the end of the day, it does actually help other people to find our show. If you listen all the way to the very end of this show, you'll hear all the juicy details about the other awesome podcasts that are available on the Mash Those Buttons network. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think you do it better. Can you please give me feedback in the questions section on our Discord for next week?
Yes.
Thank you. We do live stream as often as we can, so if you're interested in dropping by, we're loving playing Rainbow Six Siege at the minute. Don't worry, guys. Red Dead Redemption is off the table, and it will not be coming back. We play The Division as well, and some other games. I'm sure Robert will be playing Destiny at some point, as there's a new release at the minute. You can find us all over at twitch.tv/SITREP Radio. We have been SITREP Radio, Bob Rob, this week. Thank you very much, agents, for listening. Have a freaking awesome week. Salt.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Goodbye.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete.